Hey everybody, this video is to try to help somebody that has a camshaft position sensor low voltage code. Now it's very important that you understand what your code is saying, because if it's saying it's a low voltage, well then obviously there's something to do with the electrical. If it's saying that it's just the camshaft position sensor itself, well then that's a different situation. That's the actual camshaft position sensor. Right now we have a 2004 GMC Savanna 3500 box van. As you can tell, I'm in the cab of my van and the rear of the motor is sitting here halfway inside. So on this particular vehicle you have a camshaft position sensor right there. Okay, that's the wiring harness, and that's it right there. You got a 10mm socket, or bolt rather, that will loosen it up and pull it out. As you can tell, that wiring harness is a replacement. I just got done installing it. I soldered it up. I did it the right way. Now this is the old one here. Don't ask me which wires this, that, and the other, because I don't know. All I know is that the one that was frayed the most is the ground. I don't know which one is the actual power and yada yada yada. I'm not a electrical automotive guy, so all I know is I can try to fix some things, and so I did. So the problem was, inside this wiring harness there was some loose wires. Actually, they weren't so much loose. What they were is they were unplugged several times, and these wires are pretty brittle, and there's only probably 6 to 7 strands on that particular each wire on the old wiring harness. You could probably count them if I actually wanted to. Let's see, there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's about 8 of them. Point is, they're very brittle. They break easily. So from constantly pulling these out, pulling the connector out, or fudging around with the wiring harness, you can easily break those, which would cause you a low voltage. So anyhow, before I actually started digging in and grabbing a voltmeter and all this stuff and checking all the other videos that or following all the other videos that I had seen on YouTube, I decided I was going to try something my own way, which was to inspect the wiring harness, which I did. And along the way I noticed that way down here inside this plug here, the ground wire was separated. And so what I did was, furthermore, inspected the wiring harness. I went ahead and cut some of the sheathing back, and I realized it was super brittle. So just a slight tug caused the wire to break apart, and there was my problem. Ran to the auto parts store, grabbed me a new wiring harness. It cost me about 33 bucks. Probably go to the salvage yard and get you one for $3, but that's a risk you're willing to take. I'm not. It took me about a good hour to get to this back of this motor. I don't have time to be messing around. Point is, before you start doing all this extra stuff, check your wiring harness and just make sure that you don't have any frays or separation, and if your sheathing is missing or you might be grounding out somewhere, replace that, or if you can, repair it. Alright, hope this video helps somebody. Again, 2004 GMC Savanna 3500 box van, 6.0 liter, camshaft position sensor, low voltage fault.